Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Great to have you all here. Hope you are doing well tonight. Really appreciate everyone stopping by. It is a busy night here on a Sunday for YouTube/WhiskeyTube. Hope you guys got a chance to catch Four Leaf Whiskey. She was drinking that proper shite 12. Her and Bourbon, which they weren't as surprised as they thought they would be. However, it is not good whiskey, but it wasn't what they thought it would be. In other words, they expected to basically drag their tongue across the carpet on the floor there to try to get the taste out of their mouth, but it wasn't as awful as they thought it was going to be, which is always good. But the whiskey itself still isn't good. But anyway, it's Bourbon Night is actually doing a stream to which it slipped my mind, unfortunately. But I put the link up there so when people are here, they could pop over, say hi, and if you can, support them in their cause for Scott Pigsley. And those of you who know Scott, was a fellow YouTuber/whiskey tuber and a great wrench for many channels who recently had passed away. So they're doing a little tribute to him also tonight. And then I saw Trev is on the Bourbon Wrench, and he's doing a little bit of a stream. So, man, there are a lot of opportunities for viewing pleasure tonight. I mean, it is busy. So please, I hope you all are doing well. Do me a favor, smash that like button, support the channel, and just say hi. I mean, I really appreciate you all being here. So today, I am doing a review of a release from Barrell Bourbon. And I have a few here, and as a matter of fact, I'm sipping on one right now, and I have the one I'll hold it up here in a little bit. Sorry, hope that didn't bother you, but I've had a couple of releases from them, and the ones I've had, I'm very pleased with so far. So what I'm drinking tonight to start off is the Barrell Bourbon New Year's from 2023. Comes in at 113 point, get my eyes focused, 5.4 proof. It's 56.77 ABV. So what, 113? Yeah, 113.5, 0.77, really? But neither here nor there. And then I have done a review on this, and I talked about it, but it was one of those that I was in the right place at the right time, and the right people put it in my hand. So I'm going to hold this one up. This is a store pick from Total Wine, done by Barrell Bourbon. I'm going to say just about when they were dipping their toe in the water. So this is from 2016. And I just got this a year ago. So the story on this one, it is, like I said, it's a store pick, cask strength, barrel number 2, bottle number 32, single barrel, 8 years, 6 months is the age statement, 123.5 or 61.75 ABV. So when I walked into the place, the person I know there just took this, put it in my hand, and said, "You are leaving with this." Of course, I raised an eyebrow and go, "Really?" He goes, "Yes, you're leaving with it." So long and short of it is by the time I opened this, which wasn't that day, it was a week later, give or take a day or two. And unfortunately, once I opened it and realized what this was and how good it was, I tried to get back there and get another one. They were gone. So this was literally the last case that got lost in their warehouse for a few years. So this hadn't been on the shelf for a few years. This was one of those things that it hit the shelf, let's just say in 16, was gone. And this was a wayward case that just they found in inventory, and they just brought it out. And I got one of them. Wish I would have opened it when I got home and tasted it, because I'd have went back and at least bought one more, if not what they had. But there was like 2 or 3 still sitting there. And, let's just say, I think it was $89. 89 to $100 is a price point. Not that it doesn't move, it's just not a quick mover. And I just wasn't in a hurry to open it. To my chagrin, sorry, I did not do that. Sorry, I did not do that. Wish I would have done it sooner. That's for sure. John, cheers, man. Thanks for popping in. Z-Man, I knew you'd stick your nose in there. Cheers. Appreciate you. So, seagrass is different, Josh. I have had the regular seagrass, and I think it's a 16 or an 18 seagrass year old. I can't ever remember it, but Whiskey Crusaders, and if you're not subscribed to them, go find them and subscribe to Whiskey Crusaders. But Matt had 2 ladies from Barrell on a couple of weeks ago talking, about seagrass and just other things. So it was a good stream, and I was lurking. I was doing some other things, but if it wasn't for that stream, I wouldn't have known about the bottle I just found. Out of the blue, I was at one of my favorite liquor stores here in Las Vegas, Liquor Lineup 2, and they do have another one. It's on Sky Canyon. It's a little further north from me, and a good friend of mine is running it, Steve. So I just happened to be the one just down from my house. When I say down from my house, like 10 blocks, 12 blocks or whatever. So I just swung in there. And because I watched that stream from Whiskey Crusaders, I heard about the cask finish series they did called Tale of Two Islands. And so when I walked in there, I'm talking to the people I know there, looking to see what's there and just minding my own business, doing my thing. And lo and behold, on the shelf was a couple of other bourbons. One of them was the Seagrass, Josh, that you were talking about. And it caught my eye that it said Tale of Two Islands. And my hand reached out like a cobra striking. And I grabbed that bottle and pulled it in. I read the label and went, oh, are you kidding me? So, of course, I snapped a picture. I sent it to Matt at Whiskey Crusaders and said, hey, isn't this one of those in the series that you were talking about on the stream? And maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, he replies back. He said, absolutely it is. They are few and far between. And, well, I had already had this thing up under my arm, and I was going to walk out with it. So it really didn't make a difference if, he got back to me or not. I was 99.95 sure that that's what those 2 ladies had said. But that being said, so I brought it home, and we're going to talk about it. But I'm starting off with the New Year's from 2023 that my wife had gotten me for Christmas that year. And it was the first time I tried that New Year's release. And I've seen them on the shelf, but it's like anything else. There's so much out there. You have to decide what you're going to get or not going to get. And well, she picked me up one of those. Really, really good. I didn't get the 2024s when it came out at the holiday of 2023. I was just slow. Wish I would have. I did have a taste, and it was very good. And by the time I circled around to a few places here, they're gone. Because like again, they make so many, they're gone. And it's something that people know of, and it's generally a good release from them. So people go and buy it for the holidays and then either open it before or open it New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, whenever they're having some friends over and they want to share a good whiskey. So that being said, when I saw the Tale of Two Islands on there, I had to grab that because I've not seen anything from that series at all in any of the stores. I saw somebody would pop in there, hanging, cheers, man. That's right. That's right. You know what I'm saying? It's the Tale of Two Islands. Do you get it there? So I put the shirt on. However, my wife dinged me. She says, you know, people that wear that shirt usually don't wear a t-shirt underneath it. And I said, that's true, but they're not me. So that being said, I am extremely special, and you can ask her. So that's why that's on. So anyway, but the hat, it goes with the motif, and it is not a favorite of Bourbon, this hat. But again, I don't care if Bourbon likes the hat or not. He'll come in eventually and make a comment on such a terrible hat. It's all right. It's Bourbon. And then, of course, I have to say cheers to Eric. Cheers, brother. Great to see you. And then, of course, there is Gordon. Cheers, man. I hope you are doing well this evening. Great to see you. And then, of course, I cannot forget about Doug. Cheers, man. Really appreciate you popping in here, saying hey. And then, of course, I got to come down here and say hello to Donald. Cheers, man. Really appreciate you popping in here. So let me take a swig of this barrel from New Year's. And the reason why man, that's good. And you know, it's funny. I got a little peach on that, and I got it before, but it caught me by surprise this time. I forgot until I got that note. And I went, oh yeah, I forgot. It had a little peach to it, which is an unusual note to get on a bourbon like that. But that's what it comes off to me on that 2023. And I know it doesn't look like there's a lot out of it compared to this one, but I've kind of stopped going back to this store pick. But I will get to it though tonight. I am going to have a little bit of it, but we're going to get into talking about this one right here. And I just thought it was interesting. And I think you're going to know when I read this from the website what interested me the most when I was standing there and realized the name, and then I read the back and why it wasn't leaving my grasp. So without further ado, right from the website. So in 2018, Barrell Craft Spirits produced a very limited release of our Tale of Two Islands rum. Okay, well, I don't have rum, but a Jamaican rum matured in peated Isla single malt barrels. What do you think caught my attention real quick? To create it, the blending team filled previously used Isla single malt whiskey casks with a small amount of barrel rum, batch 1. We let it mature, and the result was a deeply intense Jamaican rum with a touch of misty peat smoke. So, with separate distillation, aging, finishing influences from Jamaica, Kentucky, and Isla, this was a true unique spirit. For the cask finish Tale of Two Island blends, the team took the empty casks that held the Tale of Two Islands rum and used them to finish a blend of straight bourbon whiskey. The sweetness of the rum and the smokiness of the Isla casks mingled together with underlying bourbon that continues the Tale of Two Islands. So I just want to make sure you all figured out what made me go and stop and make sure that this bottle did not leave my grasp. It might be hard. It might be hard to figure it out, but you know, I just had to do it. Oh, cheers. I said, cheers, man. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you popping in here and saying hey to everybody. It does. It does. So let me just tell you, the blend components inside of this are Indiana, of course, MGP, 5, 6, and 9-year-old, and then Maryland. Yes, I said that right. The state of Maryland, 5 and 6-year-old whiskey. The mash bill consists of 73 corn, 23 rye, 4% malted barley. It's a blend of straight bourbon whiskey, matured in tail of 2 island barrels and bottled in Kentucky at 118.22 proof, of course, cask strength bottling. So I have not opened this at all, which I have wanted to since I saw this thing. I almost opened it the day I picked it up, but I have done that on a few occasions, and I said, I can't do that prior to the stream. So this seal has not been broken. It has not been broken at all. Not at all. Cooler running. Cheers, man. Great to see you. Appreciate you popping in here. Really appreciate you. Me either. Me either. So here it is. Let me get it closer for you. There it is. There is an actual bottle in my hand right here, right now. Piper John, right here, right now. It's like, oh my gosh, that's wonderful. But anyway, so yeah, I was just shocked. I mean, I really truthfully wanted to open this thing right off the bat, but we're going to do it right now. I've got my special bottle opener here. Sorry, I hope no one gets scared. But I got a special bottle opener here just for this. We're going to close it because safety first. That is for sure. If they do, I keep an eye out for that hanging. So let me open this thing here. Oh, do you know what I get a whiff of right off the bat? Yes, it is hanging AZ. Yes, it is. So, and for those of you that know, I do have the special whiskey tasting glass that I started to use that I forgot the last 2 times because I've just started to use it to see if it really makes a difference. But we are pouring it right now into this special glass. I'm making sure that I pour a nice pour of whiskey in there. And let me put the cork back on this thing. Oh my gosh. It's going to sound weird, but I'm salivating already because I have the slightest peat I pick up on this thing. I mean, it's not, it's not like strong Lagavulin or anything like that. No. Lefroy, no. Between Loch Lomond and Highland Park, peat, you get it, but it doesn't. You don't catch that medicinal note. So if everyone understands where I'm at, but now this is a bourbon. This is not a Scotch. Understand that. This is a bourbon. This is not a Scotch. But because of how they finished this, yes, I was going to say finished it. Yes, I had to make sure I got that right. How they finished it, it was like, peat. Mr. Stahl, cheers, man. Yes, sir, it is. Yes. And of course, we have the one and only whiskey nose here. And believe me, that nose knows. Don't let anyone fool you. That nose knows, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So anyway, let me highlight that. Sorry, Marty. Oh my goodness, there's someone else here I got to say hey to. Mr. Proman is here. Now you know you have arrived when Mr. Proman shows up. Cheers, brother. All right, let me set this bottle down here for a moment. You know what? I don't know. I know he's around. Um, he's around somewhere. That's for sure. I guarantee it. But I mean, on the nose, just sitting here, I do get just a little bit of peat, just a little bit of peat on the nose. Well, hello there. Oh yeah, how are you? Now that is something. Oh yeah, sweet, juicy fruit. Maybe a red licorice. I'm cupping it because I'm really doing my best to get all of this because this is extremely interesting. What is that? All right, vanilla, a little vanilla. Well, it's bourbon, but also a little char. Like, well, of course I'm smelling the peat, but it's very little. But um, I can tell there's some oakiness to this when I'm nosing it, but it is a nice color hanging. It is a nice color. That rum cask that it was finished in. Well, excuse me. Yeah, the cask that was finished in that the rum was in that was in Isla whiskey cask that the rum was aged in, and then they took that out and put this whiskey in there. Let me see. Did I say that right? Yes. It has a very nice color for being a 5-year whiskey, but it took a lot of color out of that barrel, and that is great. You know what, Nick? It's called Neat, and it is a professional whiskey glass. I've been talking about this for a little bit, and I've actually had it for over a year. But here it is, Nick. If you can see it, okay. So there's another one in here. I just haven't pulled it out. So this is it right here, and it's really supposed to help you pull more notes out of the whiskey without a lot of the ethanol and so on and so forth that's in there. So I've been using it for my reviews. I forgot the last two because I've taken it out to do something, or I left it in the kitchen and I came back in here, and so you know, there you go. It's crazy without a doubt. It's crazy, but anyway, yeah. I I'm trying to remember where I got it. It wasn't Liquor Lineup, Liquor World here in Vegas. Nick is who had it, but I'm sure if you went online, Amazon or someone else uh, has gotta have it. Yeah, yeah. Here's a side by side, but I still like these. I mean, this is the Glens. The normal Glens are my go-to. All right, enough of this. Enough of this. Let's get to the important part. What's it taste like? Just give me a minute. I'm withholding. Um, I'm withholding my judgment. Okay, Liquor World is where I got this one, not Liquor Lineup. But yes, Liquor Lineup, one of my favorite go-to places. And if you didn't hear me earlier, they have a news store. It's a little further north of me, so it's Liquor Lineup 3. The one you and I were at, Nick, is Liquor Lineup 2. As a matter of fact, a few weeks ago, myself and Mr. Whiskey Shits were there. Man, this just has a nice, I think, hold on, sorry, hold on. I'm trying not to give the tasting notes away, but something else just kind of just yes, it opened Father's Day weekend, and unfortunately, I had to miss the grand opening because it happened to the Father's Day weekend coincided with my father's birthday, so I was in Yuma, and they had a great uh, um, thing going this Saturday, but I had to miss it. But they had a Eagle Rare store pick that they released Saturday. I missed that. Darn it. But they had some nice bottles there. You can go on, I think it was on Instagram. They had a few things on there, but yeah, I'm upset that I missed it. But anyway, so give me a second here. Let me just, okay. Let me get another sip here. The peat is nice. The sweet is nice. There is definitely a licorice, and I'm not a fan of coconut, but on the retro hail with the peat, and then on the tongue right now, that's coconut. That was the one I was like, I was going back to the nose and I wasn't sure. It seemed like a little coconut, chocolate. Another sip. Really it does not drink hot. It's nice and spicy. So that rye spice, what I say, it was 25% rye, something like that in the mash bill. 23% rye in the mash bill has a very nice spice to it. Sweet corn, rye spice, tropical fruit type notes esque on there, licoricey, chocolate, peat, but just a touch from what it extracted from that Isla barrel. And like I said, this is not a Scotch. This is a bourbon. This is a bourbon. This is not a Scotch. I just want to make sure because I'm talking peat, and I don't want to get people confused because they know I love my peat. But this is not Scotch. It is a bourbon. Hmm. Yeah, the spice is nice. I like that higher rye in here. Oh yeah, the peat is coming back. I just got a nice dose of it on the retro hill, but none of the medicinal qualities. I'm not getting any of the medicinal qualities out of this. The qualities, yeah. I don't mind the medicinal notes on peat, but I'm not getting the traditional iodine and band-aids that people talk about, or Bourbon would say band-aids and hate. But no, that's not on this whiskey at all. Actually, I think the proof is nice. The spice with the proof, the smoke, the chocolate, the sweet, the peat seem to have a very nice existence together with this whiskey. And I'm going to end up putting a little more whiskey in this glass because one of the things I didn't read what it said, but it did say neat and or a splash of spring water. Okay. I'm not bougie. I don't have spring water, but I do have purified water, reverse osmosis, the best you're going to get from probably some municipal water source. I'm not sure, either here in Vegas or California. I don't know. Up California. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to put a little more in there because you add some drops to this. It's not good, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. Hey, hey. Sorry about that, guys, if you heard that, but bourbon night is on, and I was waiting for them to come on, and I got a little ahead of myself, but they're on. And remember, they're doing that little uh, tribute to Scott Pigsley. I did post the link in there. I didn't pin it. It was having a little technical difficulties. But if you want to pop over, say hello, I totally got it. You should. But appreciate you, Stacy, for popping in here, trying to get that proper 12 apple. Yes, I talked about that at the beginning of the stream, you and Bourbon. And it was my saying was, I says, it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be, but it wasn't good either. But I didn't see either one of you want to drag your tongue across the carpet to get it off. That's for sure. But really, I posted this 2:30. I can't believe you didn't get anything, but YouTube has been funny. If even with Ken's stream and who I can't remember who else I was on, was having some issues too, Peter. But appreciate you coming to say hi, smash the like button, and listen to me BS a little bit about this. But so I'm going to put a little more in here, and then I have my professional measuring device, and I'm going to put some water in here. Sorry, but it's not often you get bourbon that was finished in Isla barrels, and before they put the bourbon in the Isla barrels, they filled it with Jamaican rum, let it do its thing in there, and then bottled that rum, and then put this in there after that. So those flavors, sorry, truthfully, my mouth is salivating from this. After it's done, the finish isn't as long and sweet as I thought it would be, but it's not disappointing. It's not disappointing at all. As a matter of fact, if it's still making my mouth salivate because of the whiskey, yes. So I'm going to pour a little more in here because I want to add some water to it. And Peter, this is Barrell Bourbon, part of their cask finish series, Tale of Two Islands, 5-year whiskey, 118.22 proof, 59.11 ABV, a mixture of MGP and Maryland. And I think the oldest is 9, the youngest is 5. So, of course, it's a 5-year whiskey. So kind of bring you up to speed a little bit on what we got going on here. So let me do another. Let me put a little more whiskey in there. Let me put that back because this is really good. And so $89, $90. I will tell you, if you find it at that price, I've seen it as high as 110. I looked online. I've seen it as high as 110. $100. I'm going to see how this opens up. However, if I somehow could find another one for $89 somewhere, right now I'm on the fence, but I'm almost fell off to the other side to pick it up. That's for sure. I do have a 9-year Heaven Hill aged in Ardbeg cask from North Star Spirits, 132 proof. Ooh, an Ardbeg cask. All right, that sounds like a winner. That sounds like a winner. So let me open this, and I do have my professional measuring device right here that I have been using the last 2 or 3 times I've added some water to my whiskey. I just want to show you it's very, very scientific. Whiskey Mountains would be proud I use a device like this to measure my water. So I will hold up the glass just so everybody can see that it's there. It is a nice color. What do you think about that, Peter? For being finished in that barrel? And it's it didn't sit in a barrel for 5 years, but the age of the whiskey is 5-year whiskey. But look how nice that is. That's a really nice dark mahogany color. Look at that. Really nice color. So here we go. I got it right here. And let me put it up to the camera so you all can see the oops, crap. Didn't want to do that, but okay. You saw the water shoot in there way more than I would ever wanted, but it's been done. The water went into the glass. Lord, 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 Lord. Let's shake that up a little bit. Shake that up a little bit. Let's give it a stir right there. Let that all get back in there. It excited everything. I saw you know how you put oil and water and you see the streaks and everything. There you go. That's what happens. So let's let that blend together there. Let everyone hold hands and sing Kumbaya in that glass. Come on now, people. Get together. Get together there. That's right. We all can get along here a little bit. Let's just let that go. Okay. So now that's in there, stirred up a little bit. Let's see here on the nose. Oh, definitely the chocolate popped out. Yeah, the coconut's there. Sweet, like papaya, sweet pineapple, maybe. Well, hello there. Yes. Yeah, not much. The chocolate popped, the sweetness popped, the peat is there. I don't know what it muted to make the peat pop, but it could just be me because now I've had a couple of sips of it. But let's see what the whiskey has done with just a splash. And that, in my opinion, that was a damn splash because I would never have done that on purpose. But here we go. Wow. Oh my goodness. That was nice. That was really nice. How do I say this? Very sweet. Fruit. It did dull the rye spice down just a touch to give the whiskey a little more silkiness on the mouth, over the tongue. It was very nice. Very nice. Really very nice. The chocolate is more pronounced. It really is. Over the first sip that I've had. Wow. Very nice. Very nice on that. I'm gonna have to look for a few more in this series, and then particularly another one like this. It's nice. Let me get another sip there. Sorry, people. I'm thinking as I'm nosing, and I probably should be explaining more, and I apologize, but I'm kind of just trying to process everything here. For me, the chocolate comes through. The rye spice is muted. There's a nice warmth to this whiskey right now. A silkiness. The flavor is really nice. It's really nice. It seemed with that splash of water to really come together. I didn't think it was bad to begin with. Neat. And I'll probably continue to drink it that way. But that little splash of water in here had really seemed to just kind of smooth things out. Not that it needed it, in my opinion, but it just kind of rounded those edges off there. Hey, Evil. Cheers, man. Appreciate you sticking your head in here and saying hello. So just a question for you, Evil. Did you get a notification on YouTube that I was streaming? Because some people have said they didn't. William, cheers. I don't know if you heard what I asked. Did you get the notification? Because I think YouTube is up to some shenanigans, but neither here nor there. Appreciate you two coming in. Thank you very much for coming in, saying hi, smashing that like button. Speak of the devil himself. I was just speaking your name. Might have been 10 or 15 minutes ago, but I was talking about you. But let me fill Evil and William in. Barrell Bourbon. This is not a scotch. I know it's peated. I know that, but it's not. This is called The Tale of Two Islands. It's part of their cask finish series. It's a 5-year age statement coming in at 118.22 proof or 59.11 ABV. And it's at $89.99 is what I paid for it. I will tell you, if you can find that, buy it. If you can find it, buy it, without a doubt. Well, I don't need no stinking bells either. So I appreciate you saying that, Evil. Cheers to you, sir. Thank you very much for the honesty. Don't need no stinking bells. Cheers. That's right. When you want good bullshit, just come on over here. Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt, that splash of water really just smoothed out everything on there. And I hate to use that term, but it just smoothed out things on there that, for some of you that might be the way for you, because some of you might not be a proofy bitch like me, and that's fine. But if you're not, don't shy away from this, because I don't think it drinks like 118. I'll give you 110. I mean, you got a little spice. In other words, you got a little proof when you take that sip. The nose, I don't think if I nosed this, I wouldn't have gotten it at that at all. I would have gotten it at least 100 plus. So if I would have said 110, I would be surprised if I was doing this on a blind and, just sipping it. But I definitely would have got it as a higher proofer, not 100. Like I said, 100 plus. But this is nice. This is really, really nice. And a splash of water really just seems to have brought this stuff together. It really has. And everybody knows I'm not I'm a neat whiskey drinker, but I watched enough of Whiskey Lovers Society to know that a splash of water can really make a difference in whiskey. And because of him, believe it or not, had changed my opinion of adding a little water to whiskey. Although when he dumps those tablespoons or teaspoons in his whiskey, I cringe. But it's his whiskey and he can do what he wants with it. And I won't drop that much water in there. However, I digress. And I've said this before. It does have its place when you're sampling whiskey, particularly in the higher proofs, to see what it can do to the whiskey to kind of I'm going to call it polishing. Polish those edges on the whiskey to make the flavors just smooth and silky. And And that's what it did. That's really what it did to this whiskey. That's really what it did to this whiskey. It's very nice whiskey. Truthfully, it's very nice whiskey. And I'm going to have another sip of this very nice whiskey. I wish some of you had this, that you could sip on it and then see what I'm experiencing. But unfortunately, I couldn't wait to do this review because I thought about it all weekend because it's been sitting here for a few days. And I have other bottles sitting up there to review that's been sitting for months. I just haven't gotten to it. But this made it from, 101 to 1 within 48 hours of me sitting there thinking about it this weekend. Mm. Mm. Really, I'm surprised. And when I say surprised, and I always say this when I add water to whiskey, because I am surprised. But it really made that chocolate note like that, oh, okay. The Offerman, the Guinness, that stout chocolate, that's a good analogy. A good analogy is what I gotten off this. I almost grabbed the Barrell Seagrass last week, but I resisted. You know what? The straight Seagrass, Adam, I'm not a fan of. I had these, it's either the 16 or the 18. The Seagrass 16 or 18. And let me just say this. The standard wasn't bad. It just wasn't my cup of tea. But maybe if I sat down with a bottle of it with you and we had a pour or two to really dive into it, it might change my opinion of it. But I just wasn't fond of it. The 18 showed some promise, or was it 16? 16 or 18? I can't remember. If somebody knows, let me know in the chat. But what is it, like $2.49 for the bottle for the 16 or 18 on the Seagrass by Barrell? I just thought for what it was way overpriced. Way overpriced. And Barrell, in my opinion, on some of their smaller releases that they have done, that the price that they were asking for that, I'm gonna say, yeah, it was a little much. Okay, it was just a little much for what they're asking. I'm sorry. I'm not saying it was terrible, but it didn't want to lay me down, some dead presidents there to pick that up. And I saw on the shelf a Dovetail coming in at 141 proof. I was interested in it, but not like at $300, if that makes sense to you all. The hazmat of it interested me. That's what interested me. But without actually having a good dram to go, well, let me, to give me, how do I say this? To give me something to go on, to make me go, hey, this could be it. This could be something worth investigating. Does that make sense to you all? Before I would even think of doing something like that. You know what I mean? To really even think of doing something like that. But I don't know. It's just me. It's just me. And I'm just openly chatting here with you all. It's just me. But I just didn't think that's, like I said, I can't remember if it's 16 or 18. But it just didn't do it for me. Okay, 16. Thanks, Peter. Okay, it was a 16. And I had a nice pour. I was at Liquor Lineup. Someone had brought it in, and I didn't ask. I just happened to be there, and the gentleman said, "Well, you need to partake in this." And I said, "Oh, no, no, no." I said, "Please." And I was honest. I said, "No." He says, "No, I want to share this." Okay, I'm going to try it. I thought it was okay. I really did. I didn't think it was bad. But I know what the price of the whiskey was. And I know that it's a very limited release. And I didn't say anything to him. I was honest. I said, it is good. But in my head, I was not going to pay $250, $300. I don't remember what the price of the damn thing was. But I just, to me, it wasn't that price worthy of it. And I think I told you this, Adam, when you dropped me off a sample of the Elijah Craig 18. I thought it was good, but at the $200 price range, $189 or something like that, that just didn't meet my expectation of that whiskey for that price that they were charging. I thought it was good, but they lowered the proof, if I wasn't mistaken. If I remember correctly, it wasn't 94. It wasn't 94 proof, like a small batch. What the hell even? I don't even have the small batch here, but what the hell is it on the Elijah Craig? Sorry, I didn't mean to turn my back to you all, but now that I'm doing the bullshitting part, give me a second here. Oh, by the way, when I did this review of the Dark Arts whiskey, holy smokes, has this damn thing opened up so freaking good. So if you guys find this one, the Dark Arts, the straight bourbon whiskey, about $89 if I remember right. This freaking thing is really good. Really good. It opened up wonderfully. Hold on here. Yeah, 94 proof. I just looked at a toasted barrel. Yeah, I mean, I know they get a little more whiskey out of it when they did the 18 at the lower proof, but come on. Come on. It was like, should have left it at least at 94. What the hell? Come on. I like Elijah Craig. I like Elijah Craig. I love the small batch. I can drink it every damn day. It is a great tasting whiskey with the flavor, the spice, the caramel, the brown sugary notes in there. It's nice. It's a nice whiskey for the price. You can't beat it. Matter of fact, I think it was today, if Hangen's still in here. Yeah, he's still in here. We were talking about old granddad. He picked up a bottle for, correct me if I'm wrong, Hangen, $22 when we were chatting on Ken's stream. Holy smokes. I said, it was great at $19.99, and people turn their snout up at it. Come on. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying, William. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's the price point of some of these whiskeys. It's the price point. I mean, we all have our line of what we'll pay as in over MSRP. Okay. But it damn well better be good. And I know you heard me talk about it and say, okay, well, Anthony's saying it's good, then okay, I'll think about it. Well, let me just say, I think it's good. But taste is very subjective. So what I think is good, what you think is good, could be this far off, or we could be together. But I like this one. I think it's good. I think it shows some promise. I'm not disappointed at what I paid. But other stuff from Barrell, they're pretty damn proud of the product. And I know they're smaller releases than bigger companies. And I got that. So there is a cost to marketing, a cost to production. There's just a cost in shipping. Everything is up. Everything is high. Got it. Really do. But it's like anything else. I feel that we are starting to get bent over the barrel. God, you think I'm down in Australia? Sorry, Ken. Bent over the barrel on some of these prices that we're paying for whiskey. Like I've got about that much left of my Lagavulin 16. But if I want to replace the damn thing, I got to spend $100 to get a bottle that's really a $70 bottle all day long. But because and it costs money to get it across that water to over to here. Got it. Taxes, duties, everywhere bullshit goes with it. But holy crap, people. You get to the point where sorry, going off on that tangent again because I don't mean to, but you can't help it. Hey, Ben Demon Hunter, cheers, brother. Appreciate you for sticking your nose in here, man. With you and Donald Rance, appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. Sorry, I was trying to talk at the same time, lost my train of thought. Jay Sal's, saw your Instagram video today, man. If I was there, I'd buy that damn house. That looked nice, especially with that big backyard. So don't think I don't see you or follow you. I may not say much, but I see you. Great job and, oh, nice suit. Oh, okay. You know what? I may have known that and forgot until you just jogged my memory, but I can't say conclusively, Peter. But, oh, okay. All right. It was 16 years. See, and that's funny. Somewhere in there, and I haven't gotten to it yet. And I've had that son of a bitch for well over a year. But I've got Alberta Premium Cash Strength. It could be up there. It could be down here. Hell, it could be over there. But I got to get to that. I got to get to that damn thing and take a sip out of it because I'm missing a lot. I'm missing a lot here by not doing that. Yep, sir. The BS part is the best part sometimes. Truthfully is. Truthfully is. Let me just catch up here a little bit. So what should be the price of a 16-year calf strength rye? Who? Who, as in, like, what maker is what I'm going to ask you, Peter. What maker? Oh, that one he had, it was on Instagram. That was a damn big yard. You could put a pool in there and you'd still have a shitload of grass to mow. That's the part I don't like. But you still would have had a shitload of grass to mow. Let me have another sip of this damn whiskey because it's good. Yes, we have Costco here. Yes, we do. And so thanks to ASMR Whiskey, also known to me as Andrew, he's there often, and he will shoot me different pictures from time to time of what is available. But I have a few standing orders. One of them is the Loch Lomond 12, particularly when it hits there for $24.99. It's an exceptional value, but a tremendous everyday drinking 12-year-old Scotch that's got a whisper of peat to it. It's beautiful whiskey. Beautiful whiskey. I had 3 bottles. I drank one, gave one away, and I'm down to 1, and I haven't cracked it. I know it's good. I look at it, but I haven't cracked it. But the minute he finds that bottle there, he's to buy me 2 more. And I will gladly pay him for those bottles. I will smile from ear to ear because then I'll go back to working on that bottle. Because when I don't have a backup for something, it's like, yeah, exactly. It does have some tropical fruit to that Loch Lomond. It really does. And I know I'm drinking bourbon right now, but since we're on the BS part of the show, that's what we're going to chat about here for a little bit longer. We're on the BS part, but yeah, um, it's really really nice. It's really nice, that Loch Lomond to 12. Everybody I've talked to that has had it said it's an exceptional value whiskey, for the money. Truly is. It's an exceptional value whiskey for the money. So that being said, I tell everybody about it. I mean, I don't, well, I do want it for me, but I would feel remiss if I didn't tell you all that that is an exceptional value whiskey. To buy it in a $24.99, $25. Buy two. You have a backup. You it's that good to me to tell you to do something like that. Really, really, really nice. Really nice stuff. So, sorry, I'll go off on a tangent about different things like that. But anyway, that's just how it goes. There you go. I knew once I started talking Loch Lomond and a few other things, Donald would wake up. It is for the price. It's just what I've said. You honestly cannot go wrong with that Loch Lomond at all. You can't go wrong with it. I mean, it's one of those things that should be a staple Scotch if you're a true Scotch drinker, on your shelf, on your bar, wherever it is you keep it, in the cupboard, in the pantry, whatever you want to call it. But it is one of those that should be on your shelf. There is absolutely, positively, no doubt in my mind that is a staple. And one of the staples that I like, and I've talked about, and a lot of people will turn their nose up in it, but is the Glenfiddich 12. I've always liked that for some reason. I love that profile. It's a great sipping Scotch. I'm almost finished with a bottle, and I've got a backup floating around here somewhere that I got for a present, and I'm happy to get it. You can never have enough, in my opinion, particularly if it's something that you really do and truthfully like and you want to have, on your bar, and I would share with all of you willingly. Now, some of you will say, well, I don't like that profile or whatever. And that's understandable. It's okay. You don't have to like that every profile on there. It's not for everybody. But I don't mean to keep going off on this Scotch thing, but I just have to, because that's what I've been working on. Yeah, exactly, Donald, exactly. But I've been back into my Glenglassau, the Sands End, and the Portsnoy since I have done the review, and let me tell you what. Airtime has done well on that Portsnoy. That airtime has just really helped that bottle. And I'm well below the shoulder right now. I had a couple of pours this weekend up at camp because I brought the bottle with me. Then I brought the Sands End. And I had a pour of the Sands End Friday, but Saturday, I was drinking the Portsnoy. Drinking that thing, it was wonderful. That peat it's definitely stronger than this. But that peat was just a notch above Highland Park, but it was just pleasant on that Portsnoy. So Glenglassau. Uh-oh. What did I do to you, Evil? That you got to pull it out, Evil. Yeah, twisted your arm. I'm guilty. I know I'm not drinking it right now, but it's part of my floor whiskey. It's how much I grabbed the damn stuff right here. This is an empty bottle. I know, sacrilege to show an empty bottle, but truthfully, this one's the empty one. The full one is still there, but this is the empty that I got rid of. But the stuff that's on my floor is the stuff that I'm grabbing regularly, and the closest for me to get a hold of was that empty bottle. But that is it. Honestly, it's an amazing drop. Yeah. It's a good, everyday, affordable scotch. It is. Oh, yeah, I got the project. Oh, yes, I do. I have that. It is phenomenal. I haven't had that in a while. And now we're talking about this stuff. Now I'm thinking about it. But yeah, uh, I did a review on that, and I think that you talked about it too. But it's been over a year. I got it for the holiday. But oh yeah, it's up there. And if I ever found a bottle out in the wild again, I'd buy a backup for that son of a gun in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Because it's worth talking about. It's absolutely worth talking about. Oh, sure. Rub it in, Eric. Why don't you? Why? Yes, pour it. Pour it. I mean, because I can't tell you to pour this because I know most people don't have it and I feel bad. But pour it. Enjoy it tonight. Since we're talking about Loch Lomond, go ahead and pour it. I'm going to take another sip of this. Sorry, was just in the moment there on sipping on that good whiskey. Man, that's good whiskey. It really is. It is really good whiskey. You could you could put a hurting on this with you and a few friends. Yeah, you could you could really dent the shit out of this bottle, if not kill it. Truthfully, it is glorious. Loch Lomond is one of those that unless someone really talks to you about it, most people would overlook it until they try it. My opinion only, but it's one of those that that you just, Loch Lomond, Loch Lomond. Oh yeah, Loch Lomond. And then, like I said, we always talk about this. People are price conscious. In other words, oh, it's only $24.99. How good could it be? Pour some in a glass and find out, bitch. It is amazing. It is amazing. Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. Don't consider. Just put it under your arm and say thank you. Trust us on this. I'm telling you. Evil's telling you. Donald's telling you. It's not, you don't think about it. If it's there, shit, buy it. Buy it. Mm-hmm. Sorry, but I got to savor this whiskey. That splash of water is just doing it. As it sits here and it really is doing its thing in there. Oh, man. I'm going to have to see Solid Liquor lineup and say, I need another one of these damn bottles. I'm going to tell you that right now. I've got to have another one of these bottles because there's some people that would benefit from me dropping off a little taste of this to them. And yeah, absolutely. That's it? Wow, crap, that's cheap. I'd pay that in a heartbeat right now, Donald. And if that's 108 in Canada, holy smokes. You tell him, Evil. Tell him. Yeah, cheap bastard. That's right. Buy it. Oh, oh, hold up. Here it is. Well, it's not the 18, but I was sipping on this, the Tomatin 12. I like it. It's another inexpensive whiskey, $40.99. The tag is still on it. So I didn't think that was a terrible price. I wasn't disappointed. I like this. It's the bourbon and sherry cask finish. Oh, yeah. Ex-sherry cask. This has a nice little sweetness to it. What the hell was this? 43 or 40 ABV? Shit, I don't remember. 43 ABV. It's a nice whiskey. The Tomatin 12. The Tomatin 12 is a delicious whiskey for the money. It's something that you can afford and you can buy it on a regular basis and it's sitting on the shelf. Oh, Greg, what time is it? 5, almost 6, 9 o'clock? Aren't they due to tuck you in just before they change your diaper and put you to bed? What the heck? Evening, Greg. Always great to see you. I'm glad they haven't come and turned your television off yet. Oh, yeah. Everybody should have 3 bottles of Tomatin 12, or at least 2 behind them and 1 open, without a doubt. Mm. There was a little more to the sip than I thought there was, but magnificent whiskey. Okay. All right. So remember, in this glass was the 2023 Bourbon Barrel, the New Year's. Coming in, what did I say it was? 113. So I started there. And then I went up to the 118, which still smells heavenly. But this 123.5 is the barrel store pick that Total Wine did back in 16, and that I just stumbled upon a case. You know, I told you the story, but oh my God, I'm going to pour some of this. This is so damn good. Knowing that I'm going to pour some in a glass, I'm surprised I'm not drooling already. I am surprised I'm not. Let me move the cork a little bit, because I'm honestly, I do my damnedest to find something else when I get this urge, then open it. But being that I'm drinking barrel, I'm going to pour a little of this sucker right now into this Glen. And I might add a splash of water to it. It's got a nice dark color to it. What did I say this was? 8 year? Yeah, 8 years, 6 months. At 123.5 proof. This whiskey had a delicious, luscious viscosity to it that I thoroughly enjoyed. Now I'm letting my palate kind of come to a little plateau here. Let me drink some more water, because that peat, it's not pungent, it's not overpowering or anything like that, but man, that this Tale of Two Islands, ooh my goodness, it's great. Well, thank you. I absolutely appreciate it, Greg. You know that. I absolutely appreciate it. They're fabulous blinds that you actually send me. I mean, honestly, they've always been phenomenal, and particularly that Highland Park flight you sent me a while back. That was truly a remarkable flight. I mean, that absolutely was one of the best I have had. Those were some excellent tasting whiskeys at a great proof point, really. Yep. The 2007 Tomatin Polkar was the most epic. Yeah, I think you mentioned that before, and I've heard about it, but yeah. I got out of Scotch for like 20 plus years. I know, sacrilege, but I did. I wasn't even drinking whiskey really for 20 some years. Just didn't. Wasn't against it. Just, I don't know. But here I am now, making up for it. I'm making up for it. Okay. So this is that Total Wine store pick. Let me just get a little closer. Beautiful color. Still a nice, deep, dark mahogany on that thing. Honestly, it's very, very nice. Oh, the nose is just fabulous. Ooh, man. It's a little proofy. This one I will say, it clears your sinuses. But it's only, what I say, 123? Yeah, 123.5. But now I do get dark chocolate on this. I get like a dark plum berry molasses note. Because this thing has had a chance to sit and breathe for quite some time. Well, let me say this. I actually saw her perform here in Vegas at the Coliseum many, many, many years ago. Matter of fact, when the Coliseum opened its Caesar's Palace, wasn't long after that, of course, she was the headliner there. I got tickets to go, and I was amazed at how well she sings. But I was also amazed at the show itself. The performance was amazing. It was amazing. And the thing about it is I almost turned the tickets down. They were free because I worked at the Flamingo. So Caesars was part of our property group. And I just happened to be at the right place at the right time and went. And oh my gosh, she really is a good singer. And I think she's starting to get back into it now. She's feeling better. She's feeling healthier, and I think she's belting out some tunes here and there. Don't quote me, but I think she's stepping back up in the saddle. Mm. Now this is a treat. But it's funny. Sorry, I'm just so the Tale of Two Islands. Yeah, you know what? I may have a little residual now that I have a moment to reflect. I may have a little residual from the Tale of Two Islands. So I'm going to hold that thought right now till I have another sip or two. Another sip or two. Okay. Man, that's still pretty darn good. Honestly. Still pretty darn good. Hold on here. We're gonna sip here. I just need a memento. Well, let me say, this is as good as I remember it being. Really, it's as good as I remember it being. But I think I'm a little spoiled today by the Tale of Two Islands here. That little peat-esque is so nice on that thing. Really is. And I have another peated whiskey made by High West. And it was finished in peated Scotch barrels. I know. Shit, which one was that? Was it this double rye? Hold on. I think it was. Let's see here. Yes, it is. Damn it, I remembered. There we go. I haven't touched it in a minute, but one by High West here, double rye, coming in at 50.5 ABV, but finished for 9 months in a peated Scotch barrel. Doesn't say who, it was, but this was a nice whiskey. It is. And the only reason I'm saving it is because there's just, that much left of it, but it's a very nice whiskey. And I don't know if I've turned this bottle upside down for a minute or so, but I generally will go through my bottles and give them a little tilt like this for about 10 seconds, turn them back, and just slowly see if I can move the cork. Yep. Beautiful. That way, if I go to open it at some point, I don't rip that cork off, but just enough that it absorbs some of the moisture to inflate that cork a little bit. But this was a good bottle. Yeah, Eric, I like it too. It has its place. It has its moments. I haven't went to it, I bet you, in a year, give or take. But I liked it, as you can tell. I've liked it down to roughly 2 fingers left at the bottom of the bottle. But this is a nice whiskey. It really was. It was a nice whiskey. It was a great whiskey to have. I'm glad I've had it, and I talk about it. I've had some other peated whiskeys, and they might have been from this brand. I don't know, but I wasn't impressed. But this one, I liked. So, wait a minute here. Where did I have another one? I don't know. I'll have to think about it a minute. Because I thought I had another one, but I could be wrong. Well, that's okay. I have a couple of picks of Buffalo Trace. They're good, and believe it or not, they do edge out the Shelfer. It's not by much. I'm talking just a hair. They edge it out. But the picks are better. But this is what I say. Bump it up a notch. Spoil us. Make it freaking 95 proof. Come on. Make it a pick on the Buffalo Trace. Stop just making it the damn 90 proofer. Give us a little something, Buffalo Trace. Come on, just a little something. Knock it up a notch. Isn't that what Emerald would say? Let's kick it up a notch. Come on. 95, 100. Oh, 100 proof. Come on. Give us something to come on. That's the only downfall with that whiskey to me, is they haven't raised that damn proof above 90. Come on, give us something. It is. It is an interesting whiskey. It's not your typical rye. You do get the notes, but let me just say this, and I'm going to use this term. There's just a little funk about it, like the Campbelltown funk, using that as an analogy for on there. Um, but it's great. I like it. I like it. You know? Yeah. You know what? This is one of those things that it took me a minute to warm up to it after several drams. And then I'm like, you know what? Damn, that's not too bad. And so when I went back to kind of look for it, it was gone because it's a store pick, and it wasn't like a week or two later. It was more of a couple of months later that, I would have a dram, let it open up, it'd go a couple of weeks, have another dram, uh, a month or more go by and have another. And by that third or fourth dram, and maybe 3 months, 4 months later, it could have been 6 months. I just don't remember because I had the bottle a minute. Shucks. That would have been one that at the time when I was looking for it again, knowing what I know now, I probably should have bought two, but I was on the fence. But it was at a price point that I was like, okay, I will spend the money and I will explore this over time and see what I think. So it was good whiskey. It turned out to be good whiskey. And then the more time it had in the bottle, the more time the flavors really congealed together and came of their own. And I was like, oh, wow, this is nice. This is really nice. So that being said, oh, well, woulda, shoulda, coulda. We all have a story like that. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Does anybody know? I didn't see it, but I don't think Livewire is going tonight, right? Is he? I forgot to ask him. I know Mike was on there. I doubt if he's in there now. I know he's going to be on It's Bourbon Night. I know Bourbon was on there and Stacy was on there. I'm not anybody that they would ever call or even know who the heck I am. But they're doing a good thing for Scott Pigsley. Rest his soul. So I am not hurt in any way by that, but I'm just saying, I know they had a certain time slot to pop in and do certain things. So that being said, they may, or Mike may not be streaming tonight. I don't know. I've forgotten. Yep. Rest in peace, Scott. Let me raise that glass of the store pick to Scott Pigsley. Really, Scott, may you rest in peace and know you're not going to be forgotten, especially by me. Cheers, everyone. Mm. I'm enjoying some whiskey. It's Bourbon Night is doing a stream. So when I started, I had theirs in the background and it came on while I streamed. So I had to cut it off because I forgot to silence the stream. So anyway, but they're doing a stream. I had the link posted in the beginning on the chat. So if people wanted to pop over and say hi, subscribe, please, or donate to the cause for Scott Pigsley, like wound care, diabetic wound care, so on and so forth. I'm sorry, I don't have the exact terminology or exactly what it was, but they're raising money for stuff like that. But anyway, great cause, great tribute to Scott Pigsley and a lot of whiskey tubers who had a time slot to come in, talk about Scott, and just remember him, the good times that we've had together, so on and so forth. So, yeah, absolutely, was a great, great person. Enjoyed talking with him. I've been on a couple of his streams. I wish I could have been on more, but that W thing gets in the way. We all got to do it. you know, but so they're doing a thing. And I actually said, it slipped my mind that it was going on, but I didn't stream last week because Whiskey Mountains had her fundraiser for Alzheimer's, which she did tremendous on. It was a great, great stream for a totally worthy cause when she did it. And I know it was well over $11,000 she raised. And it's us that do it. It's the whiskey tubers together that pool their money, $20 here, $100 there. I mean, if you can afford it more or whatever the case may be, but every dollar counts when we do different fundraisers, like Alzheimer's, or this one for in the memory of Scott Pigsley. This community truly, truly does come together and support each other. Really does. And when we had the fundraiser for Darrell and his daughter, and I'm so glad that went over well. I mean, we've really shown our true colors here and done amazing things to help people within this community here. And I raise a glass to you all because of what you do. Unselfishly, you do this for others. And people don't see this about this community, but I see you. I know you. I talk with you. You're truly good people, and I'm glad that you're my subscribers, and I'm glad that we have this relationship. So, cheers, everybody. Thank you. Mm. Mm-mm. When you have good whiskey like this, you have to just savor it. You have to let it wash over your palate, through the teeth, the whole 9 yards. Get that experience before you enjoy it. I'm telling you, this is a nice whiskey, and I wish, Evil, you're making me laugh, but you are good people. You are good people. And I mean that truthfully. Everybody on here, truthfully, you are good people. So again, I raise my glass to you. Cheers. Mm-mm-mm. That's right. He doesn't get that Evil Williams for a reason. That's for sure. But we all know the truth. But we just don't say it. But anyway, so yeah, I don't think, like I said, I don't think Mike's on or anything like that. But I'm going to go ahead and end the stream because, I want to go over and support It's Bourbon Night myself. And I want you all to do the same thing over there. Just to hit that like button for the stream, to get it out there, because the more times you go over there, it helps their algorithm, and it helps that particular video get shown to others. And it shows truthfully who we are and what we are. Yes, we are a whiskey community, but we're not just about sitting. Well, maybe we are just sitting around bullshitting about whiskey. But when it really comes down to it, we are about caring for each other. We really are about caring for each other. We are about supporting each other. So for that, I'm going to end the stream. Go head over to It's Bourbon Night. You all have a great, great evening. I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you for being my subscribers. Thank you for being here. faithful followers of Bourbon Neophyte, I appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you again. Have a good night, everybody. Cheers.